Hello, everyone. How is everybody doing today? Today, we have a special podcast. We have a podcast with my very own close family friend from probably over 30 years. His name is Raphael Mavi. Raphael, tell me a little bit about yourself so we can dive in more in depth.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you for having me on this podcast. We have a business that services the healthcare industry, and the services with the services of marketing, consulting. We do a lot of training for staff in healthcare facilities, and we also recently started providing bilingual call center services
Nice.
for customer support.
That's awesome. That's pretty good. So how does the whole consulting process work in the medical industry? How do you really walk them through the door and guide them the right way?
It's management, leadership development, and operations. So we don't do any consulting for clinical because, well, first of all, I'm not a doctor. But as far as running a business, how to properly hire the right individuals, how to make sure you systemize the medical practice for the most part, because most medical offices are run by individual practitioners that started off on their own. They started expanding, they started scaling. But at the end of the day, for the most part, they're still working in the business, in the medical practice.
Correct.
And as long as right, well, it could be a problem. It doesn't have to be a problem. It depends on how they set up their practice. So to give you an example, if the doctor is passionate about treating patients, but they want to expand, they end up hiring more people. Like their focus is on patient care. Their focus is not on management, administration, keeping track of everything, marketing, documentation, all that stuff, right? So they end up hiring other people. And the other people, they may or may not be qualified, but the human factor will always play into the effect, and that's where the chaos may be.
So do you help the hiring process also, or
Correct.
you teach them how to pick the right person for the job?
We do both. So we show them how it's done, and then we assist them in the hiring process if there's a manager in place. So we work with them closely, showing them how to properly screen for the right individuals. And I always have, this is my own mantra, I hire the right person. I don't look for the right resume. And that's what we teach. That's what we consult for our clients as well. It's not easy to do, but it is pretty simple. The reason why it's not easy because people revert back to their own old ways of thinking and they just look at the resume.
How do you systemize that process for every single? What's the protocol? How does the protocol work?
Okay, so it's individual for the most part. Okay, I don't like the cookie cutter approach. So it depends on what the core values and principles of the decision maker are. So based on what they want to see as an outcome from their practice, that's where you start. And you start by documenting everything that you want to see in reality. So everything has to be systemized, meaning it has to be documented. Every role, every position in the company has to be written out black on white, has to be approved and also signed by the employee, regardless of the position. It could be management position, it could be HR, it could be front desk, it could be medical assistant, it could be the doctor himself or herself, and then you implement what's been documented.
You hire somebody, you teach them a lot of things, you spend time, and then they leave. So how do you manage that process
To make sure they don't leave, or to what?
Both?
It has to start at the recruiting process, meaning it has to start with the ad that goes out into the platform, whether it's Indeed, ZipRecruiter, whatever you're using, LinkedIn, right? Your language, depending on who your copywriter is, who created that ad, will speak volumes to the reader that's looking for a job. If your copywriting in that ad screams, this is a place of team culture, leadership development, healthy morale, and growth, it has to communicate that in the ad, right? Secondly, your recruiting process over the phone, whoever is screening them for you over the phone. When the person shows up, then it has to translate into the interview as well. So when you do the interview, your language, the way you communicate has to resemble what you want in your business.
Average people.
We're not talking about average. We're talking about you as an employer.
I hear you.
Right? So if this message goes out to all the employers or soon-to-be employers that are looking to hire their people, it has to start with you. So in order for you to attract the right person, you need to be the right employer first but it has to start with what you want to see out of it. So basically, so you don't end up hiring to fill a position, but you end up hiring to add to your team. Okay, so that process, as you call it, right? How do you go through that? It has to start at the interview. Now, the next part is we have to be realistic with the situation that eventually everybody leaves. Eventually, just
It's normal. It's normal.
It's absolutely normal. The difference is if you do it the right way, and if you train them, and if you set the right culture, it's just going to take them longer to leave.
You see, and
If you don't do it, they're going to leave you faster.
when we came into business, none of us really went to school for business where we know how to recruit the right way.
They don't even teach you that in business school.
But that's the problem. So we sometimes me myself, I don't know what I want. I know what's expected. So, but it's hard for me to really give that information out because it's all in my head constantly. And for me to relate it to somebody else, and then it just add-ons. Like when a client orders a website, and they give us the basics, right? And then obviously a year later, they're still adding on more things to the website. It's never done. If you happen to come across these type of situations,
Of course. When we say everything is in our head, and how do we relay this information to the people that we want to work with?
Okay.
That's where the problem lies.
Of course.
Okay. So that means we need to systemize, going back to that question, whatever is in our head. And thanks to tools like ChatGPT and other AI platforms, you could talk into your phone, dump whatever is in your head, give it a command, and so that platform can create a document for you. Now you have something to work with. This is something you give to your staff members. Because now what's in your head, what was in your head, and still is, but now it's on a document also.
Correct.
Okay. So, and we're talking about expectations. So now you have certain expectations from them, but they also have certain expectation from you as their leader, because at the end of the day, we all look up to someone. It's just a matter of their position in life. So if your people are going to look to you, that means you have to show them what are they going to be looking forward to.
How does the culture process work?
You start with the process that you want to see as an outcome. So before you expect other people to do what you want them to do, you need to make sure that they're clear of your expectations first, right? How do you build the culture? You flip the snowman upside down. So if you could picture a snowman in your head, you have the small circle on top, you have the middle one, and you have the bottom one.
Correct.
So typically when a person gets hired, it is absolutely normal. I don't say it as a negative thing. I'm just saying as a reality, you look at what's in it for me. How much do you pay? What are the benefits? What are the hours? What are the expectations? What do you need from me? Right?
Correct.
Normal things to ask. It's all about me. The middle circle is a department. Okay, what part of the team am I on? Like, what is a department? What is it doing? How can we play team here? The third one and last one usually doesn't even come across their minds is, okay, what is the company about? That's the big circle. Now, if you flip it upside down, what most people do is they make the big circle all about me. That's the big circle. The middle one is a department. So my needs come first, the department needs come second, and only lastly, if it ever even crosses their mind, is the corporation, the business itself, the needs of a business. That is a recipe for disaster, for toxic culture. For a culture and a team that's going to keep falling apart, you will have a high turnover rate of employees, right? I mean, just look at the sports, the NBA, what has happened in the last 10, 15 years. And LeBron James, I hate to, poop on him, but he's done as great as a player he is, but he's destroyed the industry of NBA because it all became about me. All these great athletes, they keep jumping from one team to another.
Ego.
The ego thing, right? You don't have the Jordans and the Kobe Bryants anymore that, just played for 20 years with one team, regardless of who it was. So in military and leadership academy, they always teach you take the snowman and flip them upside down. The needs of the company have to come first. Why? Because as the largest circle, the needs of the company, when the company is taken care of under the right management and leadership.
But when does that really hit the employee? For that to hit first?
Through you. That's where your leadership comes in. That's at the process of the interviews and orientation.
Is it good to be demanding?
I just came back from Colombia where we're setting up a new call center. The first they weren't even officially hired yet. Okay, the first orientation after we decided who's going to be hired, under the first it was a 2-hour orientation, and inside of that 2-hour orientation, that's one thing that I had to cover, and I drew it on the board for them as well. So they have the right expectations of the organization. And I also I will understand at that point where their mindset is, because I will never tolerate the pick-me culture. It's all about me, the entitlement mentality, which is very common these days, unfortunately, thanks to social media, thanks to all of it, right? And I'm like, okay, then the second part is your department. And lastly is you. I'm not saying it to be an asshole, but I'm just making it clear that you have to understand natural progression when the organization is taken care of under the right leadership. Obviously, you have crony capitalism, you have all these greed, right?
Absolutely.
And they make all the money, but they don't take care of the people. That's not what I'm referring to. I'm talking about when you understand who you're going to be working for and with under the right management, you have to make sure the large circle is taken care of. Then when the large circle is taken care of, the middle one is going to be taken care of, and the spillover effect happens to the individual as well. But when you flip it upside down, you make it all about me, there's not enough, because the individual cannot take care of the department. The department cannot take care of the business of the company. But vice versa, it could happen. And that's the way it happens. And they teach this in Leadership Academy, as a matter of fact. They teach this in military as well.
When I put a system in place, let's say in my office, a lot of clients don't follow the system. They don't want to follow.
Clients or employees?
Clients.
You need to be willing to lose a little bit to gain more.
Correct. And that's what I have been doing.
Start saying, you just can't do it with me, but do it with somebody else. Start saying no.
And that's harder than anything for me.
I know. That's why I said it's not going to be easy, but you have to be willing to take some losses. Now, knowing your business for so many years already, even when you tell no to your clients as far as they cannot deal with you anymore, but they have to deal with somebody else, they will not go to somebody else. They're still going to do business with Kaykov Media. We train our clients how to treat us.
I agree.
I literally walked away from sales meetings with potential clients that were like thousands of dollars every single month on the table, and I had to walk away from it when I realized that these people are going to be draining my energy every single month. And I didn't want to have that. I don't know if your audience is familiar with Jim Rohn, but he used to have a saying that he said, you could carry one on your back, but you could help 1,000.
Depending how you carry them on your back.
Right. Right. So the more it is that you're focusing on yourself, on your business, the more people you'll be able to help. Right. But for you to be attached to a thing or a person all the time it's counterproductive.
You got two partners. Let's say one is married, one is not, one is younger, one is older. What plays a role here? I mean, from my understanding, I know that, let's say, okay, one partner is in charge of this, another partner is in charge of that and the other thing, whatever it is. And we don't get in each other's throats. You make the decision on that, and he makes the decision on this.
Okay.
That's what it is, for the most part.
Okay. That's the standard assumption.
Okay.
So that's the easy part.
Okay.
And that's exactly the way I reasoned when I partnered as well. Now, my last partnership with the skincare company was based on somewhat of what you just mentioned.
Okay.
With a lot of hesitation. I backed off twice, and they pulled me back in, okay, through a guilt trip. I got suckered in. Now, I'm not blaming them at all. It was 100% my fault. I take full responsibility. Absolutely. Absolutely. But what you just mentioned is standard operating procedure for partners. And that's the easy part. The difficult part is what most people are not looking at, right? What are the qualifications that will make a good business partner?
Okay.
My first business partnership in real estate when we opened up our own brokerage, this was back in 2005 or 6. The guy told me, he came over to my house, he met my wife, and we were talking, and he said one thing that I will never forget. He said, keep in mind, business is going to be worse than marriage. And he's telling this to a guy that's been married for 2 months, 3 months.
What?
So I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't know how difficult the marriage is, but I know the statistics, 50%, end up in a divorce. Okay. He's like, yeah, well, 90% of the businesses will fail in the first 5 years.
In a partnership. Wow.
Yeah, partnership, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, why do you say it's harder. He's like, well, let's put it this way. He's like, your spouse will be tolerant, maybe for a very long time, maybe for a short period of time, but she will be tolerant of you not making it in business because hopefully you guys are on the same page. He's like, the marketplace will not tolerate you. You either produce or you get out. That's just one thing that makes it more difficult.
Okay.
The second one is all the responsibilities you have to carry, which is your overhead expense, your rent, your payroll, your insurance, everything else. While you're not making anything, if you're not making anything. So now you are going to make it challenging for yourself too.
Correct.
Right? And then he goes into all of these details and it scared the crap out of me. Till this day, we're talking about it right now. This was exactly in 2005.
Wow.
January 2005. Till this day, I talk about it because I cannot express this enough to people that are going into a partnership for them to understand, especially if they've been married, especially if they've had challenges in their marriage. Business partnership is going to be a whole lot worse.
Wow.
Okay. So the things that I would recommend to look for a healthy partnership are not the things that you just listed, which is normal, and that's what I looked at as well. But rather than things are values. I have to look at the values, the core values of that individual who I'm going into a partnership with. For example, what are the values? You have two different personality types when it comes to making money. One is a transactional, the other one is long-term thinking. There are a lot of people that I know that are successful in their own right financially, but they've never built anything sustainable.
Correct.
But financially, they're successful. They made money, but it's not sustainable. They're not like you. They're not like building a business, hiring people, expanding. They're more like, hey, listen, let's go make a deal. We'll flip this. We'll make $1 million. Okay. We'll build this building. We'll rent it out. You know what I'm talking about. They're transactional.
Correct.
These are the personalities that are willing to step over dead bodies to make $1. I think we all know people like that.
Of course.
And then you have the individuals that are more, I guess we can call them more empaths, right? They are long-term thinkers. They care about their employees rather than the profit. They understand without employees, the service not being done. Therefore, the profit is going to get hurt as well. So when I evaluate a partner, I want to understand, are they a transactional individual or they're a long-term thinker? That's number one.
Okay.
That's something I didn't do before. Okay. You don't look at common interests. Oftentimes, your potential partners will try to wine and dine you to lure you into a deal. They're going to take you out to a nice steakhouse.
That's what they do.
Right? So what happens is, and I've been in that position, I always say, just like dating, right? For people that are trying to find their soulmate, don't look for the person that you have a lot of interest in common, but look for the person that you have a lot of values in common. Because interests will come and go, they will fade. People are willing to sell their soul and they will lose the interest.
Absolutely.
But the values, that is something that's not tradable. Like you cannot negotiate on that. So look for the right values in a partner. For me, that's a big thing. And recently I partnered with 2 people. In 1 year, I partnered with 2 people on 2 different projects.
Now, how did you test them out? You said, what are your core values?
Values. I didn't ask them. I knew them. And I had to evaluate their values.
Evaluate their values.
Correct. One of them I've been doing business with for the past 8 years as a subcontractor, never as a partner. And this new project came along, the call center for the doctors. And I said, no problem. I just need to know, what do you have to bring to the table? Because I can do all of it myself.
Correct.
It's in a foreign country. I have the attorneys. I have the accountants. I have all the resources that I need to do this myself. I said, why do I need you? And the person told me what they bring to the table, what the things are. I'm like, okay, no problem. Fair enough, 50-50. The other guy I have been friends with, but through friendship, I've learned about his values, and we partnered on another project.
They say sometimes, don't do business with friends.
Correct. I'd rather find a friendship through a business than a business with a friend. For the most part, that is accurate. Based on my past mistakes, I have learned to walk away from money to save the friendship.
Correct.
That's fine. Most people will not do that. And I'm telling you this from personal experience, most people are not willing to do that.
You're right. You're right. 100% right.
Why? Because I'm not a transactional. Self-awareness is a huge thing. Like, who are you? That requires a lot of self-work. I had to do a lot of self-work to understand who I am and what type of personality type I am before I even do business with anybody else. and I've learned that I'm not a transactional individual. Everything I've done is invest today
Correct.
with the hope that you're going to get something out of it tomorrow. Not individual. I'm talking about a project or business,
Overall.
right? So for me, it's everything is long-term thinking. Therefore, I need to be very careful and protective of my reputation. Most transactional people, they could care less.
Correct.
They're in it to make
Hit
a
and
dollar,
run.
pay off their life's expenses, and that's it. Hit and run.
I definitely worked with people like that before, and when I dealt with them, I said, "This is not my style. I will not be able to move forward with this type of transactions, like you mentioned." And that just threw me off. I'm like, how can you build a relationship with a person where you're banging them on a price today and not 100% delivering them what they want? It's not how I do it.
Right.
I'm like, I'm not gonna put my name on the line for what you're doing, and I was out.
That's the best way to do it.
It's I don't know. I mean, there's people who sleep well at night with that, and they're okay.
The reason why I know they're not okay is because they keep chasing the next deal.
Correct, but it's a thing. How do you call it?
Yeah, but sometimes you don't chase these deals. When you observe, I notice they're not chasing it to make a dollar. They're chasing it to fill a void. They don't understand what their purpose is. So they keep chasing that next deal to fill a void. They don't even know what that void is.
Mm-hmm.
They have the money. They have more than enough.
Mm-hmm.
But why they keep chasing that other thing?
Right? They feel when they close the night, they feel.
Because they feel alive.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So my question is this: how do you set up your life where you feel alive every day without that next deal? That's where purpose comes in.
Mm-hmm.
That's where self-awareness comes in.
Okay.
When you tap into that purpose that you know you're supposed to serve, you feel alive every day.
Correct, but there's some people who don't have enough in their bank accounts. And
That's different. That's
what it
different.
comes-
Chasing a deal for financial purposes to sustain yourself and your family, that's completely different. I'm talking about other things. I'm not talking about financial now.
Okay.
I'm talking about transactional personalities.
Okay, I hear you.
Okay?
Okay.
Take the money out of the equation now.
But today, for the most part, it's all about the money. For some people who that's the only thing that is in their head. All day, every day.
Yep.
They close a client, they hit and run. That's what it is. Am I wrong?
Depends on the profession.
They're not long-term thinkers like
Right.
you mentioned. They're on the spot, they make it, and they're gone.
Right. Transactional.
Transactional.
Right.
I love that term.
I try to stay away from business deals with people like that. Not I try, I do. I do stay away
Mhm.
from people. There's no trying.
What triggers that for you?
I get to understand their personality type. Don't forget, I know personality types.
Oh yeah.
I've studied it for years. So I can figure out just within the first minute or two, 5 minutes of conversation with them, what type of personality they are.
Mm-hmm.
With people that we interview, I do it in the first 30 seconds of them coming into the office. I don't need to look at their resume to hire them.
So how do you just walk away, or you say, you know what, this is
No, you
a
continue the
pleasure.
conversation, but you already know
Right.
in your head that you know where it's going to go. You're not going to be rude about it, right? You're still professional. You're still a human,
Of course.
and I still treat them with respect. It's just that I know it's not for me.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing changes. Nothing
Nothing.
changes in my attitude towards them. What changes is the decision.
Having a business partner is important to have the same core values,
Oh, absolutely.
without a doubt.
It's the first
The first,
and most important thing. The same values,
the same value.
same value system. Yes.
And what if, let's say, your partner has the core values, but he's not pushing it enough?
Okay. That's the third. The next thing is work ethic.
Okay, what if the work ethic is not there also?
You don't partner with them.
Okay, and what if the partner, what
You need to understand.
What do you mean?
Here's what I'm trying to tell you. All of these, when
if
we
he had
when-
it and then it
Bef-
went away? He got comfortable.
you put everything on paper to begin with,
Mm-hmm.
which you're responsible for, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the responsibilities could also be outsourced. You could hire
Of
somebody
course.
to do responsibilities. So it's not their skill that I'm looking for. I'm looking for their values, their work ethic, and what they see out of this deal that we're going to do together long term.
Mhm.
Are we marrying the deal or we're going to sell it? Like, what is the right? What's the
Correct.
So for me, I don't. So far in my life, I'm 45 today. I haven't done anything with the hopes to sell. I'm not looking to build it up and then sell it, make it look good on paper and sell it. And I wanted to make sure that my partner sees it the same way. We're building it to build it out, to create a legacy money, the legacy income.
Nice.
Make sense?
Long term.
But I have to look at the work ethic. Extremely important. But my last partnership 11 years ago in that skincare company, one of the guys, he was a workaholic. You and I both know who that is.
Mhm.
Okay? So work ethic is not enough. The value system was very corrupt. It was not on my page. We were very different. And that was a mistake that I made. So is the work ethic equivalent to the value system? I'd say yeah. But you cannot overlook the other because one is good.
You have to level.
Yeah, of course. And I can give you a lot of different examples with businesses, with people that we actually know in common.
Mhm.
Okay? Where they went into the partnership, the value was the same. Some of them were family members. They can't screw each other over. Right? But the work ethic of one person was way lower. It was about 20 to 30% performance of the other guy. And like, hey, listen, I can't even leave the business for a vacation with my family because the business is suffering 2 weeks that I'm out.
What is the common problem you came across when consulting the medical healthcare?
If you look at the negative reviews of patients that have left the practice after they've been seen by the doctor, 90%, maybe more, of the negative reviews are not because of the provider, not because of the doctor,
Correct.
but because of the
Service.
experience. Exactly. That started off with the phone call, that transitioned into the wait time in the waiting area, rude
But
personnel, rude
those type
staff.
of people are constantly getting changed because they're in the front.
Correct.
Because they're not there for long term. Do you feel like that position is very important?
I would say it's the most important.
Is the most important?
Front desk?
Yeah.
It's the most important position in the entire business. I know many of your listeners will disagree with me.
I agree with that.
But at the end of the day, as a business, not a medical practice, as a business, it is the most important position in the entire business, entire organization.
I definitely agree with that.
Okay. So hiring the right personality, hiring the right communicator at the front desk is very important. I know people try to be cheap. They like right now they pay, we're in New York, 17, 18 bucks an hour. That is not a competitive rate.
Mhm.
You know, our clients in Brooklyn pay 22, and it's not always about the money. Okay. Because you will always have pissed off people, even though they get paid 25 an hour.
Oh, 100%.
But I'm just saying, in order for you to attract a better caliber of individuals, you need to up your game, but you also need to up your training.
But their work ethic is not. Let me ask you a question. You train them, they start working. How long does an average person need to grasp that information and apply it?
You said the key word average.
Correct.
For some people,
Average.
for some people,
But
it's
if
going
I'm
to take.
paying them $25, $30 an hour,
Yeah.
that's a reasonable rate.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. If I'm paying $25 an hour,
Okay.
what am I expecting? How long will it take them to get to where I need them to be?
Do you need them to be a year's worth of experience, or do you need them to be worth 6 months worth of experience, or 5 years? That's a very
I understand what you're
subjective.
saying. On average, where they grasp overall.
The concept of the daily operation,
Correct.
2 to 4 weeks.
Should.
Absolutely.
I don't see it. It doesn't happen. I probably, I came across many people and it doesn't happen within a month, within 2 months.
Is all of your training onboarding verbal, or you have it in document as well, on a document?
Verbal, but I do have documents, but which we probably don't go over on a regular basis.
not?
How often should staff meetings happen?
At least once a week.
Once a week.
At least.
Okay, when you're telling them the same thing multiple times,
Yes.
should it go into effect for them to be more alert? How
Theoretic-
often do you have to say the
Theoretically,
same
I want to
shit?
say yes. As a father of 3, realistically, it doesn't work that way. They're not going to do just because we said something to do. So we are creatures of habit, yes, but we're also creatures of observation. So we tend to do things what other people do around us. So it's not enough for you to tell them. Number one, you need to tell them. Second, you need to show them. Thirdly, you need to show them while you have that document in your hands. So that needs to work as their reference book. And then you have to observe them do it in front of you. So I have a formula that I've learned many years ago in direct sales: tell, show, try, do. You tell them what to do. You show them, so they have to observe. They have to watch you. Now they have to visually accept what they just heard. Then you have to let them try it while you're watching them. That's your accountability. And then only in the fourth step, you let them do it on their own.
So they go through the whole process.
But they have to have that physical book, the manual, as a reference book.
I agree. But you know what? Sometimes common things that they do sometimes forget to do other times.
Okay.
What is that? Incompetent people?
Yeah.
Okay, what needs to be done? You got to get rid of them.
Well, yeah, depending on your standard operating procedure. Do you do a first
Of course, I do
write-up, a verbal?
I do an assessment, you know.
Okay, first time it's a verbal recommendation, right? Then the second one, you write them up. Second one, you write them up. Third one, you're out the door.
Basically.
But they have to know that, hey, listen, you've been written up the second time. There's no third. Let's say I have somebody who I know that knows the job. They've done it before very well. All of a sudden, their performance starts slipping, right?
Happens all the time.
Right. So I would approach them with like using the sandwich approach. I would say, by the way, I'm like, this is not your first day. I've seen you do really well. The first 3 months, you were amazing. So I know you have the information. You have the discipline to execute. And all of a sudden, last couple of months, you've been screwing up. What the heck is going on? Is it something in your personal life? Is it something at work? Like, we need to get to the bottom of this because I want you to get back on the rails where you were before, not going down the slippery slope as the way you are right now. So I have to recognize them for the job well done before.
Absolutely.
So in their mind, at least they could revert back to that if they, right, once they understand.
Correct.
Maybe they'll tell you, hey, listen, yeah, I'm sorry, but something's going on in my personal life, this and that. My parents, my husband, my wife, whatever, my kids. Now you know what the issue is. They're not fully
there
with you. They're physically here getting a check, but in their head, they're somewhere else. Therefore, they're making all the mistakes.
Clock in, clock out.
Yeah.
So we mentioned one, service. What was the second one? Did we go to the second one? You said you're going to talk about three common things that go down.
Oh, with the practices?
Yes.
Okay, so the experience of the patient, that's your patient care, right? The customer service. The second one is because we live in such a competitive world now, everything's online, the online presence is just horrific. Like, horrible.
I agree.
I had a meeting this morning in Brooklyn, south of Brooklyn, and we showed up to the clinic, and the manager actually took the words out of my mouth. And she said, yeah, she's like, our presence is shit.
That's unbelievable.
She's the one who said it.
But I think it's very important. People forget to understand that is the number one thing. That and service is the key to any business for the most part.
And presence, I mean, like, I'm talking about reviews as well.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
The website.
An average person today goes online, Googles your business, and looks at the reviews.
Yep. The third thing is not enough patience because the doctor wants to scale. Oh, I want to hire an NP. Oh, I want to hire a PA to help me out. I want to hire another doctor, right? But we need more patients because I have to put them on a salary, but I don't have enough patients. So how do you stand out and get more patients? Because most clinics that I see, they do want to scale. They're not happy about working, 8 to faint. So they want to scale. They want to
grow.
See more. Yeah, they want to grow, but they need more patients for that.
So how does that work?
There are a lot of different sources. I mean, you have your guerrilla marketing, your networking, and working with cooperating with other practices.
What is the number one strategy that you use for your clients?
Number one strategy, I would say the organic way is SEO. That's one of the things that we handle. The second one is paid ads through Meta, Facebook and Instagram.
Correct.
That works really well if you know how to convert them.
Of course.
Okay. So those are the top two things that we would focus on to bring in new. So immediate results, faster results, I would say PPC campaigns, and more organic is SEO campaigns.
Looking at this market and you see AI is growing substantially, I wouldn't say they're 100% there, but it's really growing fast. What industries do you think are going to be obsolete?
What's taking a hit already is the legal industry, the lawyers.
I agree.
Contract lawyers. You go to ChatGPT, you have no idea how many contracts I've created in the last 2 months. Legal contracts, including a foreign country.
Insane.
Okay? That's not because I don't speak the language fluently. I had to run it through the lawyer. I'm like, hey, listen, I have this document. Is this kosher? She looked at it. She's like, yeah, it looks fine. Like, thank you. That was it. I saved myself $1,500 from creating a contract.
Now you just go notarize it and you're good to go.
certain elements of finance. In our space, the copywriters, but a good copywriter is not going to lose a job because in our space, yes, we use platforms like ChatGPT to create the articles, but I still have two other people that are continuing to work. Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
You have,
Because we need to tailor make it to the client, and then we also have to optimize it.
of course,
So a
people
good copywriter is not going to go anywhere.
agree.
Graphics, yes. However, graphic designers also, I don't see them losing a job. They're just going to create more now because of AI tools. Most of our clients, they want a tailored approach. AI is not there yet.
I agree.
So we still have to maintain the human touch element of the practice. Right.
Absolutely.
And overall, even as a lawyer, even as a finance person, even as in the future, a surgeon, medical surgeon, right? I think it is our responsibility to become the best in our field to make sure that we do not lose our professions to AI, because the best evolve and the average kind of go into the oblivion.
Which book do you feel is the best that shaped you a little bit more than Rich Dad Poor Dad?
So that was the first one. The second one, I would say for communication. Like for me, it was very important because I didn't know, I didn't have the skills. Right? Maybe I did innately, I don't know. But I really, really like that book. And it's a classic one too. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale
my
Carnegie.
God. I was just speaking to with Ruben from Wieland.
Okay.
He said the same thing. So I went online. I bought that book for my son. He's reading it. I'm probably going to read it after. Unbelievable.
It's a great book. As a matter of fact, I actually got 15 copies in Spanish of that book.
Wow.
And I brought it with me to Colombia for my staff.
Are they actually going to read it? Are you going to test them on it?
Yes.
You're gonna test
yes.
them.
That's not the only book. Atomic Habits, amazing book.
What if they're
That's not one of the three.
How are they going to read if they're not
Spanish.
readers? If they're not readers, they're not like
It's
readers.
mandatory.
Mandatory.
Yes. In my company, it's mandatory.
What if there's people who read and but don't grasp?
Audio. One way or the other, you got to consume the book.
Okay. Here you go.
Okay.
Third book.
So that was the second book. The third book would be Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Yeah. It's all about mindset and understanding human capacity for financial success.
I hear you.
Very good book.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the most recent favorites, I would say Atomic Habits. That's why I got it in Spanish as well and brought it with my staff.
Wow.
Amazing book. For business, I'm going to give you more than three. For business is, I think I gave you that book before when we talked. Something about how to sell your business was sellable.
Yes.
It's a blue and white.
Yeah. Focus on. I forgot the name of it.
But that was a book that actually changed my business. And this was about 3 or 4 years. I read it after COVID, so about maybe 3 years ago. That book literally changed the way I do business.
How many books do you consume a year?
A year, probably, I would say about 30 to 40.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Both audio and reading.
Beautiful. So you keep yourself going.
They're the best teachers.
I totally agree.
Some people say your own experience is the best teacher. Not if you can learn to
Apply it.
learn from other people's experience.
I agree.
And if it's applicable to you and your personality and your business, then go ahead and do it.
I agree. Every day is a learning curve.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm happy to have you here today.
I love being here. Thank you.
It's great. How you like the vibe here? It's nice.
Awesome.
Awesome.
This is amazing. Really nice setup.
Very well. So, guys, if you like what you see, please subscribe to Kaykov's podcast. See you soon for the next.